Welcome back to Mirror Chunks, my Mirrored Xtreme Onechunk Ironman accounts. Yes, 2 accounts, one in Old School and one in RuneScape 3, both starting in the Wizard Tower south of Draenor. Last episode we got Old School to base 10 combats with the death of many chickens, and we got our RuneScape 3 account through all the available quests in the chunk, as well as the woodcutting, firemaking, and fletching grinds done. Sorta. On today's episode we'll continue the catch up with RuneScape 3, and hopefully start to beat up some wizards in Old School. Without further ado, let's jump right on in. So I do realize last episode I completely forgot to show the chunk maps. So here is the Old School RuneScape map. I have it in sandbox mode as to not do any spoilers for what's upcoming in this episode. However, here it is. Here's all of the tasks that we have to complete, as I mentioned in the previous episode. What's interesting is there's only one chunk to roll afterwards, and that is going to be Draenor South, which has a number of grinds for Old School RuneScape. We have to do a whole bunch of forestry. We're going to have to do a whole bunch of smithing. We'll have to complete the Imcatcher quest finally. There's a whole bunch of best in slot gear that we'll have to obtain, and it does say that we have to get the farming cape, but I'm not aware of how we farm in the Draenor South chunk. I don't think there's a farming patch in there. I don't know if there's something in the sewers that would let me farm, but there's certainly not a farming patch in the Wizard Tower. So I'm not entirely certain why that's there, but we'll figure it out when we get there. So that's currently where we're at. And then we have the RuneScape 3 chunk map. Again, technically I can roll these chunks over here, so I really should put them in here. But again, I have this one on sandbox mode so that you can see the current state of the tasks prior to getting into the meat of the episode, because I really just wanted to show these. Again, we have one more chunk, just one chunk to the north that we can roll, kind of. We can actually roll these, so I'll put them on there. One thing that a commenter pointed out is that we do actually have more best in slot gear that we can obtain. I don't know, we'll have to try and see if we can train melee on the spell wisps. I think because our melee stats are so low and there's no way for us to get an actual melee weapon, we'll never have the accuracy to theoretically train those, so that might be why the chunk picker doesn't have the drops from the lesser demon on it, because it does drop the black two-hand sword, black hatchet, kite shield, longsword, and offhand longsword, which would be technically our best in slot gear. But based on my experience trying to kill rabbits on a previous RS3 account, without a weapon in my hand, I'm just never going to hit. But we'll collect them anyways, because we got to do it next chunk, I believe. Well, potentially next chunk. But I think there's a Black Knight that roams just north of the bridge. Yeah, so obtain the full black armor set, as well as a black sword for our best in slot, and the offhand black sword, which these are probably better than them anyways. So we got to do that anyways. Might as well just get them done now. We're going to get plenty of runes from the spell wisps as we're kind of grinding those out, since they are really going to be the best way to get our early magic levels, as well as a bunch of runes to help kind of guide that along. Plus, they do drop law runes, so we would be able to use those to cast Telegrab on whatever it drops. So yeah, that's the current state of the chunk picker maps, and with that out of the way, we can now actually get back into the episode.
Oh, whoa, a Leo, a random event? This is gonna be great. Don't know what I'm gonna do with this once I get to the point that I can actually get lamps, but for now, we'll take it. I don't really need it for the bank space, because, you know, my inventory's not, chickens don't really have that much to drop. check that out. We got zombie gloves and zombie trousers. No more knockoff blue mage gear that we'll eventually get from that guy over there. But for now, we'll keep these on. There we are, 10 defense. Now, I don't know if you can see, but my health is not at full, and that is because a moment ago, I accidentally clicked this wizard down here, and he showed me that 10 base stats for combat, not quite up to snuff for beating a wizard here. At least, definitely not up to snuff with no food, no armor, no real defense. So we're just going to go on with the chickens for a bit. But first things, I want to see if there's a way to safe spot any of the wizards up here, because getting some of the magic stuff would help with our magic defense. But let's see if we can't, you know, safe spot one of the wizards in like one of these rooms or somewhere else. Because I do realize we are going to need to get our magic quite high to not only kill this thing, but we're going to have to be able to telegrab. Okay, level 33 for telegrab. So it's not even worth even attempting to fight this lesser demon until we have 33 magic. So current goal, gotta get the defense to 40 anyways to get the rune armor. Gotta get magic to 33 at a bare minimum to get that telekinetic grab, and then we do also in this chunk have to cast high alchemy. So we'll need to get magic to 55 anyway. So the grind continues. You know what? I'm not really liking the odds of this safe spot here. Oh, okay. Never mind. I take it back. You might be able to knock one of these out. Oh, nice. Okay, we did it. And we got some air runes right off the bat. That's pretty nice. So that'll be the start of our magic grind. And this seems to be a pretty okay safe spot to kind of get these done. I think once the magic level gets higher, we'll have a higher magic defense. Potentially, if we get any of the wizard hat or the blue wizard robe, they might increase our magic defense. But I don't know for sure. Yes, okay, that's gonna hurt every time. Oh, look at that. We got staff. Look at all of those green numbers. Ooh-wee. I'm gonna keep going with defense because we gotta get that to 40, so. But we now have unlocked the way of auto-casting spells, which will be nice when we actually get the runes that we need to cast spells. What I'm going to do is I'm going to really quickly use Wizardy Chunk as a kind of recap of where we currently are on the current one chunk.
Now you're probably thinking, wait a second, haven't we already done this? Well, Yes, and this is going to get a little jumpy here because we need to show the mining grind, and I'm also going to start catching up on some of the rune span that we've missed.
And you might be thinking, oh, we didn't do rune mysteries. You're right. You don't have to do rune mysteries in order to get to the rune essence mine and start mining rune S. So we have a whole 30 grind to get to mining. So, you know, come over here. You have your bronze pickaxe in your tool belt. You start mining. Cool. Pretty AFK until level 15, when it's not. When you get a stamina bar. Still kind of AFK, but it's faster if you click. It's kind of nice. There's no altars in the RuneScape 3 beginning chunks, right? What you have instead is a mini game called RuneSpan that's open from levels 1 onward, right? Like, you have it permanently. So in this low-level RuneSpan portal is you run in here and you can start doing this mini game to do rune crafting. You don't get any runes or anything for it, but essentially what we do is we collect floating essence, and you'll see we get 25 of these weird-looking rune essence in our inventory, and you use those to siphon from these little nodes of rune energy, and they kind of show you which rune this is. So this is a mind storm, so it would give me mind runes, right? So if I try to do this, here we go, we just kind of sit here AFK, and eventually we will succeed and we'll get a mind rune and a big experience drop. And so what we have to do is we need to play this game until 105 rune crafting. When you leave here, all your runes get converted to points. You can then shop at Wizard Phoenix to then buy stuff. Right? We do have a couple other things. We have a bunch of best in slot requirements. So we have to get wizard robes, wizard tops, wizard hat, and wizard gloves, and wizard boots. And what those drop from these spell wisps. And these spell wisps drop all the kind of stuff that we would need. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you where we are now with Wizard Chunk 3. So here we are now on present day Wizard B Chunk 3. Okay, so this is where we are now, and by now I mean 2 days, 3 days of game time later. So as you can see, we've started some of those grinds, right? So we've got 7 prayer, 25 magic. The big one is 71 rune crafting, 17 hit points. We did the 30 mining challenge, 20 fire making, 36 wood cutting, and 25 fletching. So, and we started kind of killing these little wisps. I could kill one at a time before they would absolutely destroy me. But as you can see, we have the wizard gloves. We were wearing the wizard boots. We've gotten the wizard top, wizard bottoms, and the wizard hat already from these little guys over here. They drop it at like a 1 in 42 chance. It's not terrible. It's not the greatest, but now we've high enough magic and high enough constitution that I can just kind of spot these guys no problem. I should probably fix my hotbar here, but get some other constitution skills. But I'm just kind of, this is already enough for me to do this. I don't really have to go too hard. But as you can see, they do drop coins, these ashes, and we can kind of just scatter those ashes and then go on our way. It's nice. One thing of note that I didn't say in the little intro thing, I don't think, is we don't have a bank per se. What we do have is we have Wizard Myrtle over here, and she acts as a bank deposit box, right? So I can deposit stuff, no way to get stuff out. Another thing I forgot to mention was Wizard Ruleset over here also has his own shop that also uses the points you get from RuneSpan, and you have to buy stuff. So what we have already done is we've gotten the portal redirection, which required 66 rune crafting. We've done that, so now we can just enter right into the high level. You saw the low level in the intro. I'll swap this really quick to the mid level so you can kind of see what that looks like, and then we'll go back to doing our grind of rune crafting on the high levels. But we have to get all of the Master Runecrafter stuff as well. The nice thing about this is it is our 1% bonus runecrafting experience. So I'm already currently wielding the skirt and the boots. We have already owned those. They're 4K points each. We currently have, I think, 3.5K, so we'll be coming out here in a moment to get the Master Runecrafter robe or the hat. I think I'm going to go with the robe. I think it looks cooler. But this right here, this Hungry Hood, this requires 105 runecrafting to buy. So that is our longest grind. Yay, mind runes. Alright, so we're going to take these mind runes. Oh, nice. And we're going to go kill, or at least attempt to kill, this chicken down here a couple of times. Just kind of want to just get magic up as fast as possible because that's going to make me take less damage from the wizards, and if I can do anything to not have to flinch the wizards, I'll do it because it's not fun. It takes 2-ish, 3 minutes per kill. Nice, a single magic level. So once we get to 3, we'll start casting Confuse.
Okay, so let me explain why this is important. Confuse, Weaken, and Curse all use body, earth, and water runes, which we aren't using yet. Using these unwanted runes on the wizards before each kill is going to massively speed up the grind to 33 magic. Once we have 33, we'll stop using our water runes so that we can save them for the lesser demon and its 40% water weakness.
That's the earth runes we need for the Confuse spell once we get to 3 magic. Oh crap, dude, look at that. It's the Freaky Forester. Here, let me see if I can get him to... There we go. Yeah, I'll help you with some pheasants, bud. Got some nice lederhosen. Nice. Ooh, yes! Blue Wizard robe. Look at that. That's the best in slot for the magic. That's a task checked off. Nice, and that gives us some magic defense, which might help us deal with these wizards a bit more. Maybe not. Yay, level 20, we can wield the Mithril. We are, by numbers, halfway to the 40 defense goal that we need to hit. However, I think 33 is the actual halfway point. So still a bit more to go, but 20 is a big milestone. I like that. Time to continue to smack these wizards with a stick until they give me runes. Yes, finally another mind rune drop. It's been so long. Oh, that's such a bummer. I came to try to get that one last magic spell so I can start using Confuse. And we're 10 experience off of the level, which was 2 more casts. So I need 2 more mind runes and then we can get to that level 3 so we can start using some of these other runes as well. Alright, so we're going to start doing some strength. I think I only need 5 more levels, maybe 6 more levels to get another max hit. That'll bring me to 3, which would hopefully make flinching these guys a little bit quicker, because I could theoretically do it in like 3 hits instead of the 7 that it takes now, maximum. So here's the mid-level. It's this nice purple. It's really cool. There's different types of nodes that you can siphon from. Here we are. Here's the high level. Kind of looks really ominous, but it goes all, I mean, it's got a lot of blood, death, and soul, and all those other fun runes. But what I've always been doing is I come here, I spend 112 of my reward points, which you can see up here. I have 3,737. Buying runes from Wizard Phoenix actually gives you 10 of every rune that you have the rune crafting level to craft. So 71 means that I can craft up to death runes. Somewhere 65 death runes. When I hit 77, I'll be able to siphon from the blood pools and make blood runes, and buying the runes will give me 10 blood runes as well. It'll cost more points, but you'll see why this is useful to kind of buy these runes right away. So every single one of these things is on an island, and there's a platform that you need to go for, and each of these platforms costs runes. So if I come up to this one, it's got the symbols on it, right? Water, body, and nature. Examining it will also show you what you need and the rune crafting level to traverse it. As you can see, it spends those runes, it also spends the points. So I had 112 points banked, now I only have 108. So it's a little bit of a, you know, what do you want to spend to get to where you're going? And I've found islands I like to sit on already, so I'm just going to go to those islands. And the easiest way to get on those islands is to just go and buy, you know, those 10 runes from Wizard Phoenix right at the very beginning. Ooh, and meanwhile, over here, we got a nice mysterious old man for a mime show. Sweet. Just like that, another collection slot. We've got the mime mask. Let's look at this bad boy. Excuse me. Wow. Incredible. Anyways, let's put back on the magic hat here. And just hope that we get more water runes, chaos runes, and nature runes. Meanwhile, over here, nice level 72 rune crafting level up. As we've gotten stronger on this guy, we can now hit 5s with strength. We've got the 40 defense already, you saw that. So we're just working on strength to just hit harder. But when we're at 20 or more health, I just kind of punch them as they are, and then when we're below that, I kind of just, you know, the same method you've been watching me do. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. See this little yellow wizard icon up here? It means a yellow wizard is asking for my help, and I can go give him runes. I just have to find him. So I can't get to that island without going all the way around. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to wait, essentially, you know, I think 5-ish minutes for him to kind of teleport to a new island, and then just go find him again. Which is kind of a bummer, but that's just how it goes sometimes. This yellow wizard just really doesn't want me to, you know, help him. Bummer. I was about to say there's a wizard here that I can use to help find where, because I just noticed he teleported in, which means they all teleported. But no, he's here behind this greater missile platform, which is 77 rune crafting. Awesome. There they go. He just teleported away. You want nature runes? Oh, perfect. Here you go, bud. Boom. 4,000 experience just for doing that. We lost 10 nature runes, which is, I think, 17 total points, but that's one death S-Wraith away from being basically at the same spot. So it's really worth helping out the wizards whenever, or helping out the yellow wizard whenever you can. It's just the most optimal. Why do these yellow wizards curse me so? Oh, actually, I can get to him. Yeah, let's see. What does he want? Does he want something I have? He wants death runes. Beautiful. There you go. What we're going to do is we're going to teleport out of here. And we are going to go to ruleset. And we are gonna buy the robes. Yeah, I'm gonna do the robes. I just like that. It's better. So let's see. How are we looking here? Put these bad boys on. That's looking more complete. That's looking like a much more complete outfit. Now we should be getting a nice 3%. Yeah, look at that. 3% rune crafting experience. This is awesome. Alright, so next 4,000 points. So I'm going to be in here until I get another... I'll see you guys when I have 4,000 points. I'll just put it there. Wait, did you see that? That was a 3. We've already done it. I thought I had to get to 16, but I guess it was the... Oh, wait. Is it because I'm using strength? That's why I have that bonus? Okay, yeah, it is just because I'm using the strength training. I still only hit 2s for the other methods, but 3 more levels, so 16 we'll be able to hit 2s with attack and defense, which should speed things up quite a bit. Would you look at that, another Leo. Sweet, that's gonna put us one closer to having Leo give us lamps for random events. So that'll be sweet. It'll be extra lamps, because I still have not gotten a lamp yet. I mean, it hasn't been very long on this account, so this is, I think, the 3rd or 4th random event that I've gotten. So yeah, let's get this done. Actually, I'm pretty sure how do we bank? Yeah, we can bank all of these wizard things that we don't need. Okay, now that we're at 16 strength, that should give us the 3 max hit for the rest. So back to the defense grind it is. Oh my gosh, another Leo. This is my 3rd Leo. Like back to back. This is insane. That's nice. I can put away all these robes and staffs I keep getting that I don't need. But I'm going to keep anyways, because as soon as we get to a general store, it'll be some at least better starting cash than these wizards are giving me. I mean, 100 GP in 113 kill. I get about a GP per kill on the wizards. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. There we go, another Leo done, and something to put on my head while we wait for this blue wizard hat to finally drop. Look at me. I should have never deposited those the zombie pants, because I could have had almost the full zombie outfit. I think all that's left is just the shirt, right? Let's see. We want to go to random events. Yeah, just the zombie shirt. Oh, and the boots. Okay, so we need the zombie shirt, zombie boots, and then we'll be getting random. We'll get XP lamps from the zombie. That'd be nice. Kill a single wizard without having to flinch, because that will greatly increase the speed. Because this just takes so long. So if we could even kill one wizard without having to kind of duck behind this wall and then flinch until we get back to full health, I mean, that would still speed it up. It wouldn't be, you know, a great speed increase, but any speed increase is a speed increase, and I'll take it. Alright, here we go. We're gonna attempt to just hit the wizard. Let him just go. Alright, so... Ooh, okay. Basically majority of my health bar. Okay. We're just gonna continue to flinch. It's just so much easier. That's just so much less thought put behind it. Yeah, we'll just do that. Yes, oh my god, more mind runes. Finally. It's been so long. Alright, let's go get some magic up increase that magic defense against these wizards. And just like that, now we can cast Confuse, which is going to let us use a bunch of these runes that don't really care about. Specifically the body runes. Those are going to be nice to get rid of, and not by just dropping them on the ground. Look at that, 13 experience. And now we're back out of Mind Runes. Back up we go, I think, and we're up to 4 magic. It's not bad. It's a little bit more magic defense. Hopefully we can take a couple more hits from these wizards. Oh boy, my first dunce, but I have to kill this wizard first. Look at that, my first dunce. I don't know what I want to put it in, but I feel like I should just put it in magic so I can get that kind of done and over with. But I also feel like I should go into something that's going to be a bit harder to complete. I feel like I should look at my future chunk tasks and maybe go from there. So I'm going to hold on to this for now, and we'll figure it out in a minute. The wizard hat. We've done it. We got the best in slot wizard hat. We might be able to just smack a wizard now. Okay, I'm confident that we can at least do one before we start flinching again, but that's better than nothing. Okay, a couple of things have happened since the last clip. We used to have a nice, beautiful book from the Dunce Random. However, I was playing on mobile, and safe spotting the wizards is not really fun on mobile. And also, if you stop paying attention, you just don't safe spot anymore, so you die. So that was fun, so I lost that, but came back to the wizard tower, beat up some chickens for a bit, got a beekeeper random, which gave me these sick gloves, as well as this lamp. So we're not too much further down. 5 experience on a level 1 skill, but that's okay. It could be worse. Also started training attack because we only have to get to 40 defense. We're 9 levels away. It's not too far away. But I want to hit these guys more often instead of these zeros. And since we have to get magic to 33 before we can even start getting some of the gear that we need for the 40 defense, and on top of that, more runes beyond 33 magic, we're gonna be here for quite a bit punching these wizards. So I'm not too worried about getting defense to 40 right now. I'd rather just get all the stats up so I can hit more and hit harder, and then and then just pick up the runes. Get the runes, we go, just keep punching wizards. A lot of this stuff, and look at that, 31 magic.
And that's where we'll leave off this time. We did quite a bit on both accounts, getting old school to 40 defense and 31 magic, as well as RuneScape 3 to 73 rune crafting. Next time we'll hopefully be ready to take on the lesser demon upstairs and make it a bit further in the rune crafting grind. Thanks for sticking around, and see you next time.